Hi Kirby fans, what we're going to be doing today is checking out that brush roll for pet owners. So what we'll do is we'll get straight to it. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. Again, those who are new to the channel, if you find getting value out of this content, then contemplate. Slap that subscribe button, it's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I'll reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. Right, so as I said at the beginning of the video, what we're going to be doing is checking out that brush roll for pet owners. Is it actually worth it, and does it do what it says? Now, this was a product that actually came out with the G3 and the G4, and Kirby have continued it on to the Sentria and the Avalir. So there's two versions you can get, and I will put a link in the description below of where to get those from. So what we'll do is quickly zoom in and see what the differences are, and then we'll check it out and see if it actually works. So what we'll do is we'll get straight to it. Right, so this is a product that Kirby brought out around the time of the G3. What they found, there was a lot of people complaining about the brush roll getting entangled with pet hair. So Kirby thought of a way to actually resolve this problem, and this was their solution. Now, this must have been a decent product because it's continued on to the Avalir. So what we're going to do is we'll quickly zoom in and see what the differences are between the brush rolls, and then we're going to test it out and run it in an Avalir and see if it actually picks up the hair and whether it entangles or not. So what we'll do is quickly zoom in and just compare the differences between the brush rolls. Right, so just open this one up. Right, so this is your standard oblique roll on my left, and this is your pet brush roll on my right. Now you'll notice a considerable amount of difference. Okay, so as we look at it, we've got 6 bristles on this row here, and we've got 9 bristles on here. Then we go down to 4 bristles here and 5 here. So it's still brushing in the same distance because those bristles come in between those, and so on and so on. So they are in line, but you've got less of them. As well as that, what we've actually got as well, and it's quite a bit of a feature, is we've got a groove. So I don't know if you can actually see this, so just bring it close to the camera. We've got a groove all the way down here. So you can see that. So you're meant to be able to slide your scissors along there and release any hair that gets entangled around there. Now, whether that actually works, I don't know. And what I tend to do normally with the brushes, I end up running a standing knife along it to cut it off. And because they do get entangled, especially if you've got your wife or females in the household, people with long hair as well, males as well, the hair does get entangled around there if you don't clean it out weekly. I tend to clean mine out weekly, and it's not that much of an issue. But if you're going to leave it for months on end, then yes, you probably want to invest in something like this, purely because you can slide a pair of scissors down there and cut it off. So what I want to know is whether these actually clean and get the hair up as easy as one of these. So what we'll do is whack in an Avalir, and it's quite easy to change. So I'll quickly show you how to put it in the Avalir, and then we'll check it out and see if it actually works. Right, so what we've got this Avalir power nozzle here. So we'll just put that to one side, and that's the brush roll we're going to replace in this one. Now, this hasn't been cleaned out for about a week, so there's going to be a bit of grime in there. Not too much. So if you pull this out, as you can see, my partner's got long hair, and we've got hair there. So if you're not going to take this out weekly and actually pull that hair off, it's going to get all tangled around the bristles. I have done a maintenance video on the Kirby, and I will put an old card above linking to that so you can watch that at the end of this one. But as you can see, we've got all this hair. It's not loads, but over time it will mat. And trust me, I've picked up loads of these Kirbys where you can't actually see the brush rolls for hair. I just don't get the concept of not taking it apart once a week to actually clean these off. Alright, so to change your brush roll, all we're going to do is slide the belt off, get your pet brush roll. So you've got the grey there, and again, like I've shown you in previous videos, you're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then on this side we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and that's the way it's going in, like so. Okay, but it will help if we actually put the belt on. So put a belt on. There you go. and slot that in like so. Okay, and we just put our floor plate on and lock her over. Easy as. Wind your belt on, ready for when you put it on your Kirby. So pick up your belt, green to green, and that's ready to put on the Avalir. Okay, so with our Avalir, to install it, obviously make sure you tight your pedals all the way up. I'm going to set it on as normal, flip it over, and turn that green to green, ready to clean. Right, so what we're going to do is try it on the wall carpet first. Now, this is just one night of the dog, and believe me, it looks like a sheep shed all over the carpet, to say the least. Right, so what I'll do is I'll quickly zoom in and we'll just look over the carpet and see the state that it's actually in after one night of a German Shepherd. So what we'll do is we'll get straight to it. Right, so as I pan round, I don't know if you can see that, I think you should be able to pick it up on the camera. It's pretty horrendous. You can see over by the Kirby, it's actually cleaner, but then as we pan around, I think she shed a whole coat over the actual floor. So what we'll do is we'll zoom in and start vacuuming. Right, so now we've done that wall carpet, you could actually see the agitation. It's still giving the same agitation as an oblique brush roll, it's just a smaller version, a few bristles missing. So it does work, you have to go over it a little bit more, but it is getting up all that dog hair. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump in and see how we go with the hallway carpet, which isn't wool, it's a synthetic carpet. And as you can see again, when we zoom in, you'll actually see all the hairs that are actually on this overnight as well. So what we'll do is quickly zoom in, just go over the carpet, see what we've got, and then we'll give it a vacuum and see what it picks up. Right, so as you can see, the agitation on this is absolutely superb. It picks up just as well as the brush roll. Yes, you do get the walk of shame because you've got a little bit of a gap in the middle, but you get that with the Kirby anyway occasionally. So you just go over that half again when you're vacuuming. what we'll do is we'll jump in and see what the results are and how much of the dog hair is actually wrapped around that brush roll. So I'll speak to you in a bit. Right, so let's dive in and let's see whether there's hairs wrapped around this brush roll. So what we'll do, let's go straight to it. Alright, so just open this, flip her over, and see if there's anything actually wrapped around the brush roll. Pull that out, and there isn't any hairs. Oh, there is maybe one long hair, and that wasn't wrapped. It wasn't wrapped around. It was just there. Other than that, there's nothing there. So as I said before, if you got anything on there, you're supposed to be able to literally get your scissors, run your scissors down that groove, and cut them off. But there's nothing actually on there. So that did a reasonable job. So before I put it away again, as you can see, that's the original brush roll, stiff oblique, and this has still got stiff oblique bristles on there as well. So you can see why the agitation is so good with this. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope it was really informative and you enjoyed the review. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, as it actually helps with the YouTube algorithm. Right, so final review, is the actual brush roll worth it? In my opinion, yes, it actually does agitate, and it does pick up all those dog hairs just as well as the oblique brush roll. Obviously you've got a few less bristles in there, as I showed you at the beginning of the video, but it still picks it up just as well. There is less entanglement from what I can see. I'm going to use it over a week and see how I go, and I'll do a follow-up video of my week's use with that brush roll and seeing if it gets all gunged up over a week's time. But the initial review, it still works just as well, especially with the G4. If you got the G4, the G3, the brush rolls on theirs were quite close, so they were quite horrendous for getting the dog hairs and hairs wrapped around there. So again, it is a great investment for that machine. If you've got an Avalir or a Sentria, any problems, clean the brush roll, then I'd advise you to get one. I mean, I take mine off weekly and clean it, and it's not really that much of an issue. As you've seen with the brush roll, that'd been running for a week, and there's literally a few hairs wrapped around there which you can literally pull off. And you've got that little groove on that pet owner's brush roll if you want to run a pair of scissors down there, depending how bad it gets. But if you do the weekly maintenance, and again I will put an icon above linking to that video, you shouldn't have an issue with your brush roll. So again, I will put a link in the description below for that brush roll for anybody who wants one. In my opinion, it's a really good product, works really well. Right, so again, those who are new to the channel, if you're getting value out of this content and contemplate showing your support by slapping that subscribe button, it's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. So what we'll do is cut to any bloopers, and I'll catch you in the next one. There is less entanglement. Right, so let's dive in and actually see whether there's actually hairs around. It's going to get all tangled around the bristles. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It actually helps. It actually helps with the YouTube algorithm. It's going to get all tangled around the bristles.